welcome back to the NBA Street City Circuit Challenge. We are in Game 8 of the challenge, and we're in the final team, I should say. I don't know if it's the final game, I should wait and see if I win. The final team to beat in the Southern District. I'm going to call it the Southern District because if I call it the Southern Division, that's just a little bit too confusing. So we'll stick with Southern District, and right now you see a big lineup for the Miami Heat. They've gone with Brian Grant, Alonzo Morning, and Eddie Jones. Now that's surprising because the last game I played was against the Magic, and they used Grant Hill, and he was a fairly significant Grant Hill, no less. And I wouldn't have hurt them to actually have or to be generous with Tim Hardaway. He would have been perfect for this game with the crossover, that outside shot, and all that good stuff. He's recognizable, and you could have had a pretty fun squad of Eddie Jones, Tim Hardaway, and big Alonzo Morning in the middle. Regardless, they've got a big squad, and that faces challenges in of itself, especially considering that I'm running with Jordan, T-Mac, and Vince Carter, and there's Jordan getting swatted by Eddie Jones, and then he misses a three, and then Vince Carter gets a board. But it's going to be a challenge inside. T-Mac plays like a big man, which is good. It's not very realistic because, as you know, his real life counterpart was very much finesse, perimeter orientated. You know, even in his latter days, he was still on the perimeter shooting jumpers. But with this, you know, he can take him inside, he can patrol the lane, and he gets boards. You know, he was getting boards back then, but he wasn't really a rebounder or a shot blocker. He didn't go inside to do the dirty work. And in this game, he's totally different. There's a huge boost, points scored, game breakers points, whatever. I'm drawing a mental blank here by Miami here. They're keeping up with the game breakers right now. They've only got 5 points, but you look at their meter, they're, you know, neck and neck with me. You got Alonzo Morning doing, you know, crossovers and going behind his back and all kinds of good stuff. So Eddie Jones. Now, speaking of what I was saying a second ago with Tim Hardaway, how it wouldn't have hurt them to be generous as a game breaker already. I think that's the first time that I've been playing as well that the CPU's got on a game breaker before me. But getting back to Eddie Jones, they overrated him for how good he was in 2001. But I wish they did that with Tim Hardaway too. You know, that some consistency has to be there. What are they drawing on here for their ratings? Are they going off what they were in 2001, which is when the ratings came out, or is it when you know, do they take into account the career? If they take into account the career like they did with Grant Hill and Eddie Jones, they should have done that with Timmy Hardaway too. You see me with my favorite game breaker spot just on that right elbow, and hitting a three to give me a lead. Jordan with a big dunk, and all of a sudden their lead has evaporated and I'm up 10-6. I was feeling fairly confident at this stage simply because even though I was having problems with Jordan scoring on Eddie Jones, I felt like this matchup I could really exploit, which is Vince Carter versus Brian Grant, and also out on the perimeter T-Mac versus Alonzo Morning. Sorry, I just got a little bit of indigestion there, which is so classy to have on the video. Big block there by T-Mac once again, as I was saying, you know, a little bit unrealistic, but that's okay. That's fine. And that'll come in handy later on if I do decide to go with just say T-Mac, Kobe, Vince Carter, or Ray Allen or something like that, some kind of rotation like that. T-Mac can definitely play inside and hold his own. I don't plan on using Jordan as much as I've used him in this district. I really called it a division, but this district. Score check, it's 12-8. 12-9 now, big dunk by Zoe, and I don't really feel the need to shoot any threes at this stage, although I can't believe how bad Jordan was playing in this, like, you know, missing open foul line jumpers. T-Mac missed that too, but he wasn't open, and you don't expect that from MJ, and I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it was my release point. I'm not sure if NBA Street even has release points. but we'll assume that it does, and I'll blame myself. That gets so annoying when you've got the step and you get absolutely hammered in midair, and you see my lead has gone down to 1, and but yeah, as I was getting back, like Vince Carter was no pussy when he went into the lane. You know, remember the dunk that he had on Alonzo, where he rocked him back. But it's a little bit too heavy on ratings. Another steal there. Jordan was playing horrible, and you know, just a basic head fake and it gets taken away from me. There's that honey dip dunk again, and the ball never goes through, but they get the bucket. Maybe that's by design, but I'm not too sure. And I was about to throw the controller out the window if that jumper didn't drop by Jordan. But yeah, very frustrating when you get into the lane with Vince and he gets knocked by a bigger guy, whether it was Biggs or Alonzo, and yeah, just really frustrating when you consider that he was very powerful and explosive when he went to the basket. You see my game breaker getting going up and up and up. At this point, I kind of felt like I had this game in complete control, because honestly, I did. There was I got a 3-point lead, and I'm on the verge of a game breaker, and with only 5 buckets to go, you know, I can start really not take the foot off the accelerator, but I can start. That's a sweet dunk, by the way. But I can start really looking towards getting a game breaker, finishing off with a busted rim and a game breaker to see how many trick points I can finish up with. That's what I was thinking about before. Trick points, not game breaker points. Trick points came to me. Here's T-Mac dancing with the ball. And that was a matchup I really didn't exploit on the perimeter. With I could have just easily, boy, Eddie Jones. I could have easily just taken Zoe out and just done a crossover or two. But my goodness, they turned him into a hybrid Scottie Pippen, Gary Payton, Michael Jordan on the perimeter, and also, you know, giving him some Kareem Abdul-Jabbar shot blocking skills. It's impossible to sort of prevent any of that stuff, and they're only down 1, but the game breaker is the difference here. All I got to do is just turn the ball over. Good stuff. And lucky Vince got back to. I think that alters the shot a little bit too. If I didn't jump for that, I'm convinced that they would have given that 3 would have dropped by Eddie Jones. But because I contested it as a goaltend, even though that doesn't exist in this game. Another steal, my God. Even though it doesn't exist in this game, I think it altered the shot enough. Yeah, so they've got the lead here. Normally I'd be worried, but yeah, game breaker's about to go, and I remember changing my mindset. Okay, instead of the dunk or anything like that, I'll just get the 3. Very easy crossover, basic shot with Carter, and I believe T-Mac got the first game breaker, so this might be the first game that I've used Jordan and not got a game breaker with him. Regardless, all I've got to do is get 2 buckets, not give up any 3s, which I'm not too concerned about. Well, Eddie Jones is their only shooter, if you can call him that, but in this game he seems to be able to make those shots. And apart from everything else, by the way. So I'm just thinking, okay, I've just got to get 1 bucket. And that's what I do, and I've got to get 1 more after that. It's a fairly simple process. They can even get a 2 if they want here. I'm fairly confident I can break down their bigs on the perimeter and get to the bucket and finish it. And that's exactly what I do with a huge dunk by Jordan. And we're moving on to the next challenge.